Hi all, this is the FIDE Master Sono Santagati, and in this video I will play Blindfold Simul on lichess.org. To do that, okay, so I give you the link to follow the live stream. I have to give the link on lichess. Okay, so I have it. I open the chat and okay, I'm almost ready to do that. So, okay. So I can say, okay, Nethers. I have to find the players now. Okay, Rade is the first one that wrote, I want to join. And now the second is Udini from Germany. And okay, the third is Magnus. No, sorry, he didn't write Planet. Okay. And sorry, but this is a blindfold Simul, so not for me it's not possible play against more than 5 players at the moment, maybe in the future. So okay, so the third is wait. Plan. Okay, the fourth is Pandisk. So Pandisk, the rating is okay, so it's down. Okay, so 4 player, and after that Use I want to join Geometra. So okay, we have 5 players. We are ready to play. I'm sorry for the other players, but okay, so let's start this Simul, and we can play the first game. So e4. I will play the old Simuls to remember, and okay, so okay, I have this game now to remember against plan e4, e5. Well, so e4. This game e4, and now c6 against Geometra, and now d4. So Caro-Kann against Geometra, against plan e4, e5. Okay, against another Caro-Kann against Pandix, and another no, it's different opening. So d6 by Rade. Now I can play d4, d5, and okay. So against Houdini, there is a Scandinavian defense, and e takes d5 very well. And okay, okay, e takes d4. It accepts my pawn. I made a nice video series about it. It's called Goring Gambit series. You can find it on my channel. So knight f3, and here this is the Caro-Kann against Geometra. So d4, d5, And now I try the variation with knight c3. Okay, so here another Caro-Kann, and okay, it's a perk defense. So knight c3 to defend e4, and now black played d takes e4. Okay, knight takes, knight c6, going gambit with c3, and e4, c6, d4. Okay. Okay, we'll see what happened. Okay, knight takes e4. And now g6. Bishop g5. Very good. So e4, d4, knight d6. Okay, no problem. I played d4 in this variation of the Scandinavian. And now bishop f5, and I'm happy to play knight g3. Against Geometra, knight takes e4, knight d7, and here knight g5. Against Radim, we have the Pirk, queen d2. Here, after that, we have this game in which e4, okay, so this is the game against plan, in which we are playing the Goring Gambit, and he played d5 now, so I think he takes d5 is normal now, so I can play it. Very good. And here, okay, so bishop g6, h4, or maybe knight f3. Here, queen takes d5. This is the Goring. So queen takes d5, and after that, I can play knight on c3. No, sorry, no. Let's think about it. So queen takes d5. C takes d4, sorry. Yes, c takes d4. Okay, well. Now we have this game in which black played knight g on f6. Now I think I can play bishop c4. It's okay to make pressure against f7. Here, bishop f5 played by black in this game. Okay. I can simply go forward with my development with knight f3. Here, we have the Caro-Kann. I like to play knight e5. And queen d2. Queen d2, h6. Okay, bishop f4. Well, bishop b4 check. Knight c3. And after 97 here, can make pressure against this bishop with h4. Okay. Can I play queen f3? No, because d4 is under check. So maybe I can play h4. Did h5? Okay, play h4 at the moment. And e6 in this game. So e6, queen e2 to make pressure against the pawn e6. And now g5. Bishop 1 e3. Knight f5. And after knight f5, so what to do? Knight f5. Knight f5. Well, yes, but if I push the pawn h5, what happened? The bishop is trapped, I think. Let's say it. So, because in theory, after h5, you could take my piece here, my knight on g3. So h5, knight takes g3, h takes g6, knight takes h1. The check here, and I think it's better for me. This okay. I think h5 is good. Well, here knight b6. Yeah, knight b6 is good. Bishop pawn d3. Here knight f6. I think bishop e2 is good to go forward with my development. And okay, so here knight g3. All right, let's see if it's correct my idea, because okay, now I can take on g6 the bishop. Then it could take my rook, but I take with check on f7. And I think this is good for me. So the knight will be blocked on the square. So here, what to do? Okay, c6. Okay, knight f3, c6. Okay, but I can take it on c6, I think. I think I can take, so I think I will take it without problems. Okay, now we have the Goring game, in which after castle, I can castle 2, and that's good enough. Here, knight g4, I know, now h4 is my idea. Here, knight takes h1, g takes f7, or maybe knight takes f7. I don't know if what's better for me. If you play knight takes f7, it's a fork, then I can tag the queen, but the queen can go to h4, maybe. No, maybe not. Remember what happened in this game. I played knight f3. So e4, c6. Let me remember. d4, d5, knight c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4. And after knight takes e4, he played bishop f5, knight g3, bishop g6. And after bishop g6, I played knight f3. And after knight f3, you played e6, 95, 97, and after 97, I played h4, knight f5, h5. So I have a knight on g3, so knight takes g3, h takes g6, knight takes h1, and now I don't have I have only a knight on e5 now. My pawn is on g6, and my pawn is on d4. So if I play knight takes f7, it's not so good because there is queen here and can make problems. And I have only bishop on f1 now, and it's hard for me to defend this position. But at the same time, or maybe, yes, queen h5 I can play to avoid enemy queen that can join in the attack. And in the meantime, I can, or maybe queen f3, for example. Yeah, queen f3 could be an idea. Because after that, I'm threatening queen takes f7. And it looks good. I think it can work. We did knight takes f7 then. Or maybe knight takes f7 immediately. No, okay, queen f3 immediately I think is better. Here, h6. This is the game about the Caro-Kann. Okay, yeah, now h6 is a logical choice. I have to go back with my knight. Where can I go? Because there is an enemy knight on b6. My knight is on g5. And if I go on e4, there is the problem about how I can defend d4. So I go back to f3. And now, for example, d takes e6, knight takes e6. And my pawn is not under attack, I think, because of the knight on f3. And if I remember well, I have the bishop on e2. Let me think again, because the game was e4, d5, e takes d5, knight f6, d4. Then he played bishop f5, knight f3, c6. Now my bishop is on f1 now. So I can play bishop on e2 to defend. And if knight b4, knight a3, and they can defend the fork. Now knight takes e3. Okay, I know this position. So this is the Pirc. Queen takes e3 is good. Queen takes e3 is good. Yes. Okay. And now of the game against Geometra. And then c5. Oh, let's see. c5. Oh yeah, you mean with bishop g5? Yes. Yes, okay, understood. Your comment. You're right. Yeah, I missed it. Well, now with this game against Geometra, and this is the game about the the Caro-Kann. So c5 you played, and now I think I can go forward with d takes c5. Okay, take it. f6. So queen f3, f6. Yeah. So now my only move is knight f7, and I can attack the queen. Here, queen a5. So castle for white now. Queen a5. Okay, yes, I remember. So this position is about the Goring Gambit, and the queen a5 is attacking the knight on c3 with 2 pieces. In this kind of position, I think I can sacrifice also the pawn, maybe. I don't know. Let's see if it's good for me. Because maybe bishop e3, for example. Maybe you can play bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, rook c1. And then I can make a nice attack with d5, rook c5. Yes, okay, I will sacrifice. Let's see what happens. So bishop e3 I play. Queen takes d4. Okay, I see. Knight takes h8. Okay, now this queen is attacking f2, but I have the queen on f3. So if I remember well, I should be okay. So I take the rook now. And here, bishop takes c3. Okay, pawn takes. And here, d takes e5, bishop takes e5. And I have the knight on g1 to develop. Where this knight can go. It's quite blocked now. Maybe the first knight can go to e5. And then the other knight can go to f3. So what happens if we play knight e5? Again, let's say by the beginning this position, maybe can understand better. Because this was the Caro-Kann which I played e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop was 97, okay, bishop c4, and knight f6, knight g5, e6, queen e2, knight b6, bishop d3, h6, knight f3, c5, d takes, bishop takes. So the enemy king is on the center, so maybe I can play knight check and then knight e5. Okay. Here, e5. So bishop e2, e5. Okay, this is the Scandinavian game. Have the bishop on e2, the knight on f3, d4. He has the knight on c6, so he has bishop f5 and knight f6. I think I can simply take with the pawn, and I can also trade the queens. So in this game, queen takes e3 and now rook c1. That's good, I think. And now bishop c5. The idea is attack f2 with 3 pieces now. Oh, that's interesting. But maybe g takes h7. I can go to try to take on the queen. Okay, maybe it's better think again about this position, because we have for example, okay, so this game was the Caro-Kann with e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4, then bishop f5, knight g3, bishop g6, knight f3, e6, knight e5, knight e7, h4. After h4, he played knight f5, h5, knight takes g3, h takes g6, then knight takes h1. Then I played queen f3, queen takes d4, g takes f7. Sorry, knight f6, knight f7, queen takes, knight h8. Okay, understood. Bishop c5. Okay, with this position, the enemy pawn is on f6. Then there is a pawn on e5. My queen is on f3. My knight on g1 now is on h8. I can take h7 with my pawn g. And I have one bishop on c1 at the moment. Just to develop the knight on b8, so I can maybe exploit it to attack with this pawn. Well, queen takes e3, g takes h4. Very well. So the pawn is as a defender, I think, the queen on d8, or not. Maybe, no, it doesn't push e6. So let's do by the beginning. So e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop g5, bishop g7, queen d2, queen d2, and after queen d2, what happened? He played the h6, bishop f4, g5, bishop e3, knight g4, h4, knight takes e3, queen takes, and now g takes h4. So I think I can take simply with the rook because the pawn is on e7. So I can take, okay, knight g4, and after knight g4, okay, d takes e5, knight g4. But now I can castle, I think, because of the bishop on e2 and the knight on f3. So I think no problem to castle now. Queen a3. So rook c1 and queen a3. So okay, rook c1, queen a3. Okay, it was the Goring gambit in which I sacrificed the pawn c3, and now I try to play the move. Okay, this move I try to play d5, attacking bishop d7. So bishop d5, bishop d7, and now I can play knight e5. I think, yeah, it's good. Rook to h4, e5. Okay, well, the pawn e5 is attacking my rook on h4 because okay, yeah, maybe I'm missing something here. Okay, I have to defend the rook and I have to avoid the fork. That's interesting. Let's see. Okay, because the game was e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, h6. Oh, g5. Queen takes, g takes e4, rook takes h4, and now he played e5. Okay, well, so I have to avoid to lose material, and my rook on h4 is under attack by the queen, and at the same time the threat is e takes d4, because the threat is this, because there is the bishop on g2 that can defend. But let's say it without hurry, because maybe my queen can go to g3, attacking the enemy position, because my queen can attack the bishop on g7, and then this way maybe I can find a good position. So bishop c5 here. What game is it? Okay, castle. And now bishop c5. Okay, it's the game about the Caro-Kann. Sorry, not the Caro-Kann. I mean the game about the Scandinavian game, in which my opponent is sacrificing all the pawns. So bishop c5, and maybe we can play the pieces. I was thinking about bishop g5 now. Looks interesting because there is enemy knight on g4. Okay, let's go by the beginning. So I played e4, d5, e takes, knight f6. I played d4, bishop f5, knight f3, c6, d takes, knight takes, bishop e2, e5, d takes e5, knight g4, and after knight g4 I played castle, now bishop c5. So I have the bishop on c1, the knight on b1 now. It's threatening. Okay, queen takes, but I can also take with the bishop, so it's not a real threat. Maybe we can play knight c3 at the moment. Or also h3 is good, because h3, this knight is forced to go away. But, okay, play bishop f4. Well, I go to defend my pawn on e5. And if queen takes d1, I will take with the bishop. Very well, rook d8. Can I sacrifice the queen? The enemy queen is on a3. No, I cannot. Or maybe I can. Okay, let's see. Because he played rook d8, rook f on d8. Okay, let's go. The position was with, he has the bishop, the knight on f6, the knight on c6, but at the moment the enemy bishop is on c8, if I remember well, because the game was e4, e5, d4, he takes knight f3, knight c6, c3, d5, he takes d5, queen takes d5, c takes d4. He played immediately bishop b4 check, knight c3. Then he played knight f6. I played the castle, queen a5, bishop e3. And let me remember the moves. Okay, e4, e5, d4, he takes, knight f3, knight c6, c3, d5, he takes d5, queen takes d5, c takes d4, bishop b4, knight c3. Then he played knight f6, castle, queen a5. Okay, 45, d4, he takes d4, knight f3, knight c6, c3, d5, he takes d5, queen takes d5, c takes d4. Okay, bishop b4, knight c3, knight f6, bishop e2, castle. Now he played, I now played castle, queen a5, bishop e3. So bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, rook c1, queen a5. So I have the pawn d5, the enemy rook is on d8. And my pawn on d5 is under attack by 2 pieces because there is the, I think I can take the knight, rook takes d1. Because then I'm threatening checkmate on e1. So I should move the, I have some compensation for it. Okay, let's try. Because if I don't sacrifice, what happened? My pawn is under attack, so maybe I can play also bishop c5, attacking the queen. Or also bishop c4 is playable, I think. Okay, bishop c5. But if the enemy bishop is on c8, my knight is free to play, so... Oh, very hard to play in this way. Okay, I tried bishop c5. Okay, now queen h4. What's the threat about it? Okay, take on f2 with the pawn. That's true, and at the same time, the pawn on h7 is under attack. So they just this double idea. My queen is on f3. Maybe I could try queen h3, but then there is queen takes f2. So maybe it doesn't work. I'll play bishop d3 to defend my pawn on h7. I think I can do that. And now bishop f6. So bishop f6. Queen g3, bishop f6. Okay, so he played bishop f6. Okay, so the bishop is attacking my rook on h4. And Okay, so there is the rook on h8, and my rook is forced to go somewhere. Maybe I can bring my rook to h5, and yes, h5 can be good. Maybe, okay, rook h5. And, okay. Well, castle. 95 castle. Okay, I will trade all the pieces on d7, so knight takes d7. And in this game, after bishop f4, queen b6. So queen b6 after bishop f4. Well, I don't remember the game. Let me think again about it. So against Udine. Oh, okay, I remember this is the Scandinavian game. So d takes c5. Okay, so queen on b6 is attacking b2 and is attacking f2. I remember. Yeah. So I cannot defend both. Maybe I can defend f2, for example. Okay, let me remember what happened. So in this game, e4, d5, he takes knight f6, knight d4, bishop f5, knight f3, c6, d takes, knight takes, bishop e2, e5, d takes e5, d takes e5, knight g4. Then I played castle. Then he played bishop c5, bishop f4, and now queen b6. Maybe I can play knight c3. Or maybe bishop g3 to defend it better way, this pawn. Well, okay. E takes d4 now, rook h5, e takes d4. Okay, my knight on c3 is under attack, this is true. And now I can jump on d5. Here, h5. Okay, is the game that I played before. So, h5, maybe h4. Or knight c3, with the idea that after h4, knight a4, knight takes e5. And in this way, I can maybe reach a good position. I'm about to play h4 first. And I'm not sure if it's good for me to trade this bishop on d3. Maybe I can simply play knight on f3. And here, after 95, 97, 95, 97. Well, can I play knight f3? Here, f5. Okay, what happened here? Then we queen is on h4. He played the 5 to block. If I play now queen h3, queen takes f2, king d1. Maybe I can avoid the mate and I can take about the position of the hand. Okay, let's see. Let me think. Okay, so have f5. So queen h3. There is the enemy knight on h1. So for example, queen takes f2, king d1, and then the queen can check only on g1. If this apply king d2, and what happened? Okay, let's see about it by the beginning. So e4, d4, d5. Knight c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop f5, knight g2, bishop g6, knight f3, 6, knight e5, knight e7, h4, knight f5, h5, knight takes g3, 8 takes g6, rook takes h1, queen f3, f6, knight f7, queen takes d4, knight takes h8, knight takes h8, he played bishop c5, g takes h7, then he played queen h4, bishop d3. So he has the dark bishop on c5. And after queen f2, king d1, queen g1, king d2, he could play the queen on e3, king c3, queen d4, and no, there is mate, or I can force it to repeat the moves. But I should have dark bishop, so I can play now bishop e3. And yeah, because no, sorry, yes, I'm dark bishop. Yes, so maybe I can play bishop e3 because he has the pawn on e6 and on f5 now, and I can propose this trade. Okay, now queen takes b2. My idea is play knight a4. Yeah, I think I can. No, what happened? Oh no, yes, because I played h4, right? So I have to play my knight on d2 now in this position. Yeah. Here c6, knight f3, c6. So 95, 97. My knight on d5 is under attack, and I think I should trade on f6. Okay, so I trade. Here, queen takes a2. Okay, I have bishop c4, I think. It's good to make more pressure. And now where this queen can go after bishop c4. Queen can go on a5, only on a5. I'm putting checkmate. Bishop c4. Now I have to play quickly, so I don't have enough time to think. Knight takes f6, knight takes f6. Okay, so my pawn is on e4, and his knight is attacking my rook on h5. So where my rook can go, maybe rook on h1 is going back. Maybe d2, rook b8. Oh. Bishop d3, bishop takes. Rook b1, queen a5. My bishop on c5 is under attack now. And d takes. What happened? Rook takes d1. Rook takes d1. Okay, try the sacrifice of the queen. And here, knight f3, a6. So knight f3. My bishop is under attack, so can take the knight. Here, queen c3. Can I take b7? I think maybe I can. And here, after bishop e3, queen takes e3. And that's good. So queen takes a5, queen a5, sorry. Oh. Rook h1, queen a5. Rook takes b7, king f8. Bishop b5. Have no time. Bishop g5. No, sorry. There is the pawn. So maybe c3. Now d takes e6. Rook f d1. Now queen takes h7. And now my idea is queen takes e6. And 92. Knight takes c4. I'm losing on time, so to play quickly. This is a big problem. Okay, 92, knight takes c4. Yes, there is a problem because now my queen is under attack and my knight is under attack by 2 pieces, so queen d3 is forced. And here, king d8. Okay, knight f7, check. Here, queen a5. Sorry, no. Now there is the queen on c7 that's kind of fun, so knight a5. Bishop a6. Okay, I lose on time. No time now. So queen d3, knight takes d2. Have to take. Okay, king c7. Can I play queen d6, I think. I'm not completely sure about my position, but rook fd8 is not possible playable. So c3, rook fd8. And here king d6. Knight. I don't know. Maybe. Queen e5 check. Queen e2. Okay, I lost on time. Rook h6. Okay, no, I can play now. Maybe I could win only one game now, because there was one game that my position was completely winning. But yeah, with fit time it's not possible. I think I have to train myself to play better and maybe faster. Okay, so was it interesting? I think it could be an interesting training, but yeah, it's not easy, especially if you must play more games. Can I read my simul? Or can I do that? Nope, no. Okay, thank you all for watching this video. Maybe next time I will do another simul. The hand I lost all 5 games. Yeah, maybe I could win only one game in this position. Here, okay, the position is equal. I can take the piece. Here, to be honest, now the game I think is lost because after rook h6, the bishop is under attack, and I don't see good squares for my bishop and for my rook. So this game was lost. This was equal, but I lost on time. And this was maybe lost because also if I take c takes d7, I don't think I have enough compensation for the queen. Maybe, no, maybe, yeah, c takes b7, rook b8, knight d4. Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe I'm worse, but we can play. And yeah, the only position winning for me, I think, was this, because I could play a lot of moves, queen d4, I can defend, and after the castle, no problem for me. And this other position was okay, it was lost. So okay, I think in general is important. Yeah, very, very interesting. Okay, maybe next time we'll try again this kind of event. Thank you all. See you soon. Bye.